unpopular Star Trek opinions. We all have them, and now it's time to talk about them. Hey, it's Janelle Waz, and welcome back to another episode of Defend Yourself. It's back to Next Gen for more unpopular opinions. Now, occasionally I get comments about where I've heard about my unpopular opinions being unpopular, or even that my unpopular opinions really aren't that unpopular. And I'd like to address that. I'm mainly basing this off of the scuttlebutt I've come across online, usually through Twitter. It could just be the circles that I travel online, but if your experience varies, that's okay. There are many circles in the Trek fanbase and plenty of opinions to fill it, and I simply can't get to them all. I always welcome comments about different experiences though, so let me know if your experience varies. So,
defend yourself!
But before I go further, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I talk a lot about Star Trek, video games, and whatever else I feel like talking about. And if you'd like to help support the channel, consider becoming a member. Be great to have you aboard.
What does it feel like when a person is losing his mind?
Now he's become a terrifying force.
She's gonna hurt us all.
Not too long ago, I got a comment from a viewer about how most of Next Gen Season 7 is trash. Which I largely, though maybe not entirely, agree with. Season 7 is pretty weak in comparison to the rest of the show, though I'm not sure how unpopular an opinion that is. What might be an unpopular opinion, however, is that I think Season 7 is worse than Season 2.
The game is afoot.
I've already covered how I come to appreciate Season 2 of Next Gen and how it's what the first season of the show should have been. Sure, there were some things that still needed to be worked out, but the characters are starting to gel, the show continually made improvements, with some setbacks, and there are some great episodes in that season. Sure, it has duds like Shades of Grey, which, to be fair, I don't think is nearly as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. But episodes like The Measure of a Man are high-quality Trek. To be honest, I enjoy most of the episodes in Season 2, and I'm glad for its arrival after going through Season 1 in my rewatches. Season 7, the last season of the show, on the other hand, is weak. It might not be Season 1 weak, but it's definitely weak. You can tell after 7 years, the writers were starting to run out of good ideas. Or the good ideas were going over to DS9. Or they were starting to shift their focus to bringing Next Gen to the big screen. Whatever the reason, Season 7 is full of a lot of unmemorable episodes or straight up duds. And things definitely got weird. Data dreaming about Troi as a cake, Next Gen does Misery, Beverly dating her grandmother's ghost boyfriend.
You have been using me, Nana, my entire family for centuries!
And I loved all of them!
Data with multiple personalities from an ancient library? Spider Barclay and Lemur Picard? Whatever the hell Emergence was? Seriously, I've seen that episode a couple of times and I still couldn't tell you what it's about. Not to mention, we have Season 7 to thank for Troi dating Worf for some reason? Who thought that was a good idea? Yeah, suffice to say, when Season 7 rolls around, I find myself skipping quite a few episodes. There's definitely a loss of quality and a waning of a once great show. That being said, among the mediocre or downright terrible episodes, Season 7 does have some great gems. It's not a super popular episode, but Dark Page is one of the few TV episodes that legitimately makes me cry, and it's wonderfully acted by Majel Barrett and Marina Sirtis. The Pegasus is also a decent episode, with Riker dealing with the consequences of his past, which got mangled by the Enterprise finale.
So I guess we're through here.
I guess we are.
Preemptive Strike also sees the last appearance of Ensign Ro on Next Gen and introduces the Maquis, which would give us some great DS9 episodes and a premise for Voyager. Heck, All Good Things ends the show wonderfully, and I consider it the best Star Trek finale. Yes, even better than What You Leave Behind. I guess when it comes down to it, I'd rather watch a season where the show is continually improving, like Season 2, than a season that's nearing the end and starting to run out of steam, like Season 7. Sure, both seasons have their strong and weak episodes, but at the end of the day, I'd rather watch Season 2, even with some of the show's early roughness, over the final season.
The trial never ends.
My mother is a little eccentric.
Deanna, your mother is a treasure!
She's here.
Yes, indeed.
Over the years, I've seen Lwaxana Troi,
Daughter of the fifth house, holder of the sacred chalice of reeks, heir to the holy rings of Beta Zed. Who are you?
get a lot of hate, though I'm happy to see that she's not as unpopular as I used to think she was. Nevertheless, it bears mentioning in this series. I love Lwaxana. Lwaxana Troi, mother of Enterprise counselor Deanna Troi, was a vibrant and vivacious recurring character in Next Gen, and a little in DS9 as well, played by First Lady of Star Trek, Majel Barrett. She was a good contrast to Deanna Troi, who was far more reserved. Some may even say stuffy.
I exposed you to all sorts of mixed messages when you were that age. You still turned out deadly dull.
And Lwaxana had a knack for making the entire Enterprise crew extremely nervous, which was always fun to watch. She had Picard hiding in the turbo lift.
You delicious man.
And, let's be real, Lwaxana would have made a better counselor than Deanna.
My son is a liar.
Now, if we're to be real friends, we've got to share only the truth.
Some fans felt that Lwaxana at best didn't fit into the show, or at worst was obnoxious, constantly showing up to turn Star Trek into a rom-com where she tries to find a new husband. And those fans are wrong.
I think you're all wrong.
Me? I love Lwaxana. I love how she adds a bit of fun to the show. Granted, not all of her episodes land, but she does break the show up a little bit so things don't get too serious. Majel Barrett appears on screen with her $1 million smile and lights up the entire galaxy. At the same time, she has some great dramatic episodes. I know I just said she kept the show from being too serious, but her dramatic moments really land and are always emotional and heartfelt. Half a Life is full of sweet moments between her and Timison, a scientist from a dying planet. But it's also a truly tragic story. I've already mentioned the Season 7 episode Dark Page earlier in the video, but that's another great emotional Lwaxana episode that delves into her past and shows the strong bond she has with her daughter, even if they don't always see eye to eye. Even in her weaker episodes, Majel Barrett shines as Lwaxana, and I'm always happy to see her on screen.
I'm just not adequate company right now.
Oh, that's all right. I can make enough conversation for both of us.
And those are some of my unpopular Star Trek opinions. So, what do you think? Did I defend myself well? Am I way off the starbase? Or do you disagree with me but can see where I'm coming from? Or do you agree with me and think I made some pretty good points? And what are some of your unpopular Star Trek opinions? Please, leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Defend Yourself. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends. Until next time.
Oh, you may carry my luggage.